Go ahead and take it away here.
Okay. Well, right, Doug. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our monthly marketing meeting. My name is Sean Bailey, editor-in-chief at Horse's Mouth. I'm here with Devin Kropp, associate editor at Horse's Mouth and person in charge of our advisor client turnkey marketing program. And in our monthly marketing meetings, we first start out very broadly with some topics and information, some questions for everybody. And then as we move through our meeting, we, in the second part, will turn very specifically to what marketing efforts do we here at Horse's Mouth have teed up for this month for members of our advisor client program, the turnkey marketing program, which includes our master members. So we'll be looking at what we'll be doing for the month of February, and we'll be also looking ahead to the month of March, so that each month we look at 2 months, the one that's immediately in front of us, and then a little bit down the road, so that everybody can get the wheels in motion, both for executing on this month and getting prepped for the following month. And then in part 3, we're going to take a couple of member questions on marketing. One of them is about generational marketing and what sort of thoughts ought to go into that kind of approach. And then the other is a interesting referral question about client events. So, Devin, good to see you again. We'll start off part 1 of our monthly marketing meeting by throwing it over to you to answer the question, how to build your email list with lead gen campaigns. Take it away, Devin.
Thanks, Sean. So we will start, I guess, very broadly here. And let's just talk about what we mean by lead gen before we even get into kind of building our list using it. So lead gen, short for lead generation, are marketing campaigns, again, designed to help you build your list out. And in a lead gen campaign, you've probably seen these or participated in them before. You have a lead magnet. In this example, let's say we have a white paper that you wrote, and you basically put it behind kind of a lock. It might be on your website, and you have a little ad that says, click here to download 5 tax gotchas in retirement. And then in order for a client or prospect to access that content, they need to provide usually their name and their email address, submit it. And then once they submit that, they get access to whatever that lead magnet or white paper is in this case. So they're getting this piece of content that is valuable to them, right? It's an article or a video, a webinar, something like that they want to read and digest. And you, in turn, are getting their contact information to add to your list to be able to drip market on them in the future. So that's really what we mean by lead gen, right? We're collecting new leads via our website, via social media, and using some sort of content that provides value and education to our prospects so we can get their contact information in exchange. So it's like an exchange of sorts where you're giving away content, they're giving their contact information to you. So essentially, that's what we mean by lead gen. And this works for building your list, again, because you're asking for that information, but you're giving something away that the prospect wants. It's not just you going out there trying to get their name and their email address without giving anything in exchange. You have this valuable piece of content that they want to access that's going to help them in some way, that probably has your name and photo and logo on it, right? So you're that constant reminder, and you're getting that information from them in exchange. Lead gen is something in our advisor client program that we have been kind of preaching for years now. We have a 3-part series on it. If you're been a member of Advisor Client, you've probably gone through that training series on lead gen, because it is one of the most effective ways to really be building that list out. It's, content marketing, essentially, where you're giving away that content and you're getting that information back. We see lead gen campaigns, being run on your website. You probably already have a couple and may not even realize that it's lead gen. So if you have an area on your website where someone can subscribe to your newsletter, that is a form of a lead gen campaign, right? They are getting that valuable content. You're getting their email address, so you can send them those newsletters and marketing emails that you have. You may have, white papers available for download. You may have a special tool on your website, a quiz. Sometimes we see advisors do, where people input their information, and then, you're able to add that to your list. In advisor client, we've been kind of talking about the importance of building your email list, because there are kind of these new marketing levels that you can unlock the more names that you have on that list, right? Of course, we want to have a large list to be prospecting to on a regular basis, generally speaking. But then when we look at things like social media marketing and things of that nature, there's actually more that you can do on sites like LinkedIn and Facebook from a paid advertisement standpoint with the larger lists that you have. So there is kind of these other benefits of having these larger lists for you to unlock these kind of new marketing techniques on, paid advertisement platforms, in addition to just, of course, having more prospects to reach on a regular basis.
Yeah, good. And Devin, we've talked about thinking that everybody should have a goal of having at least 1,000 email addresses on your list, because we found over the years that advisors who have 1,000 or more email addresses on a list that they're communicating with on a regular basis, could be monthly or weekly or somewhere in between, but that when you have a list that is active like that, and so you got 1,000 names, and maybe 200 of them are family households, and then 800 are prospects, right? Or people who have come to events, people who have exchanged their email address, their contact information with you in return for something valuable, and yet they're not clients. So that could be a webinar, that could be downloading a white paper, the things that you mentioned. But what we found is that when you get up to that magic level of 1,000, your list has what they call the long tail in it. And that long tail actually represents clients and revenue that you can tap into over time that will, redound to you in your business. For instance, we saw at the beginning of the pandemic, advisors who had an email list of 1,000 or more, who made the smart move at the outset of the pandemic to pivot to putting on webinars on important topics, including what was going on with the economy and markets in the early phases and later phases of COVID. That when they did that, they suddenly had much higher attendance and had actually record years of new business in what was, strictly from a market perspective, a down year. And so people are in your email list. They're not ready to act yet, but there's enough that they've liked about you and the value you've delivered to them that they stay with you. They don't unsubscribe from the list. They're watching what you're doing. Maybe they have a longer time horizon than you would have thought initially or would think would be ideal. Meaning, maybe I'm going to retire in 4 or 5 years. I like this workshop, this webinar this advisor put on Social Security, and I'm going to keep my eye on him because I know as I get closer to retirement, I'm going to roll all my 401k money and my other assets, and I've got to finally hook up with an advisor because I know I can't do it myself, for instance, in retirement. And so those people are in there, they're lurking in your list. And then, sometimes when events that are beyond our control strike, like a economic crisis or a international pandemic, suddenly those people respond, they come forward, and they're ready to do business. And so the idea of growing your email list and cultivating it, nurturing it with good content over time is why you do the lead gen campaigns. It's just one more thing that feeds into that email list. So I think it's a great thing for anybody to have as a goal that you have 1,000 names on your email list at a minimum. But listen, it's not going to happen overnight, and just buying a bunch of names isn't the way to do it. It's slowly but surely doing the kinds of financial education outreach really is one way you might refer to it, by offering, a variety of lead gen magnets that Devin was mentioning, and the list grows, and you and the people on the list benefit from it. So, Devin, anything else you want to say about that?
Yeah, I also just wanted to add, I briefly talked about, having these on your website, which of course we want lead magnets all over your website, multiple places. You can be offering multiple things. You don't have to only offer your newsletter on your website. You can have different things on different pages. But in addition to your website, because we all know it can be a challenge to get prospects to your website. And if you feel like, that's a challenge for you, you have these lead magnets on your website, but you don't feel like you're getting the traction on them. Social media advertising is a great place to run lead gen campaigns. Facebook and LinkedIn both have lead generation kind of targeted ads that you can run where they'll actually do the back end work for you. Because with a lead magnet, one thing I didn't really explain is when someone clicks on that link to download and give them your contact information, they have to go to a landing page, input their information, thank you page. There's all this stuff that happens behind the scenes for them to be able to get that lead magnet. And that can be a lot of work to get set up if you don't have, that kind of built into your website already. So if you're in that boat, or you're in a boat where you feel like I'm not getting enough traction on my website to focus just on my website, Facebook and LinkedIn, you can actually run lead generation campaigns where they do the back end for you. They do the landing page, they do the thank you. You kind of just upload, the lead magnet, and they handle all of that for you. And it can automatically sync with your CRM when people submit their email address, or you can download them and add it yourself if you'd like to do it like that too. So don't feel like you can only do it, on your website. There are a lot of other options out there for you to be getting your name in front of more people. Because again, we look at this goal of 1,000, and Sean and I have worked with a lot of advisors and talked about their email list size. And I would say on average, if an advisor has 200 names on their list, that's pretty high for the numbers we've seen. So obviously 1,000 can seem really, really far away for you. It's a great goal to work towards. But you're probably not going to get 1,000 just from your website. You might need to go out to these outside sources and pay a little bit of money to get your lead magnet in front of a new audience.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, good, Devin. So let's now move on to part two of our monthly marketing meeting. We're going to talk very specifically about what's on tap for Horse's Mouth members who are using Horse's Mouth resources, master members using Horse's Mouth resources for the month of February. So Devin, what do we got set up for February?
Sure. 1 second. I just want to quickly kind of share my screen here so we can all be looking at the same thing. This is our advisor client marketing calendar. We set this up at the beginning of the year for a kind of a 12-month thematic marketing experience where we give you the handouts, newsletters, presentations to be doing for your clients and prospects, so we can kind of tee up your marketing on a month-by-month basis. So when we look at February, which we are in right now, our theme is financial fitness. And we have a couple of kind of handouts that you can be sending out to your clients. Our first is creating a financially organized life. This is a great reprint. It's an article, but it's also kind of interactive for people. There's places for them to kind of fill out their key information. And it's all about kind of knowing where your key documents are, and key things that someone might need to know in case they need to, access your financial history in the case of, illness, death, incapacity, something like that. This is a great thing to send out on I think every year and have people update and just, be cognizant of their different financial accounts, where everything lives, and stay organized from that perspective. And then we also have a handout that kind of goes along with that, which is our financial fitness checkup. This is like their kind of financial physical for the year, if you will. It's a checklist. I think it's about 60 questions, yes or no. They can fly through it pretty quickly where they go ahead and check off. Let's click on it here so I can actually show you what it looks like. the PDF of it here. It's really quick for them to go through, but it identifies the areas that they want to discuss more with you for this upcoming year. So things like your family, do you have a child who's going to college this year? Do you have any adult children who have moved back? Again, it's personalized with your information up here. It's mine for the example, but this would be all you. And then it goes through different topics, right? So your goals, what are your goals going forward? Your business, your work, your health. It covers kind of these key areas that you as the advisor kind of want a quick refresh on a yearly basis for your clients, just so you can help. It can help guide your meetings with them, know what you're looking towards this year. If their goals have changed, if there's been any major life changes, you're able to quickly identify it here and address it in their regular meetings. So as we go through more, we see here too, your money, your estate, your retirement. It's a great check-in piece to use on a yearly basis, your future, so you can, make sure that everyone's on the same page about their kind of financial health for the year. So that we recommend sending out in February. And then we also have a short client action webinar that goes along with that checklist, where if you want to have your clients come on for a quick 30-minute webinar where you kind of run through that checklist and have them complete it right then and there and schedule that meeting with you, you can do that. That can be a great, morning or evening webinar, lunch and learn to do with your clients. Get them to fill out that checklist, schedule that meeting, and have everything kind of done in that 30-minute span it takes to go through that.
Devin, I just wanted to say that the financial fitness checklist and the accompanying checkup webinar, it's a great opportunity for advisors to kind of have like a little mini town hall with all your clients. Say, hey, look, we're going to get, you send them the checklist in advance. You tell them we're going to get together. I have a quick little webinar. I'm going to step you through all this, and we'll talk about the kinds of questions that are in there. And we're actually all going to complete it together. And people, we know advisors who have done this, and they get great reactions from their clients. And for those of you out there who recognize and have seen over the more than a decade now, I think this trend toward what's called financial wellness. Well, I mean, this sort of thing is, we could be calling it the financial wellness checkup too, but it fits, hand in glove with that whole important movement. So just another opportunity for you to get in front of your clients and quickly and easily convey quite a lot of value. Back to you, Devin.
Thanks, Sean. Yes, for sure. And then as we move into March, our theme there is taxes. We have 5 tax gotchas in retirement. There's a whole library of tax-related reprints, so you can send out even more than that, but that is our recommended reprint for next month. And then we have our tax briefing webinar. And then also for our master members who are on the call, you may have seen yesterday, we just came out with our Secure Act 2.0 presentation for our master members and tax planning members. That's a great webinar to get on this calendar as soon as possible, right? People have a lot of questions about it. They don't even understand Secure Act 1, and now we have Secure Act 2. The presentation kind of covers the major changes from both of those laws, so people can get up to speed, but that's something that you definitely want to schedule as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think whether you do it in March or you do it later later, frankly, at any time, and do it more than once, because Secure Act 1.0 came through late 2019, and then COVID hit, and many advisors didn't get around to the opportunity to talk too much with their clients about it. And now here comes Secure Act 2.0. And really, what do we basically have? We just have a large number of new rules that relate to retirement, and particularly around IRAs and qualified plans and that sort of thing. So it's just a fantastic topic, the new retirement rules, to present to the public and present to your clients. So that is definitely something you want to consider, March and beyond.
Right. And that's it really for our marketing activities, looking at this month here, February, and next month for March. And now we're going to move into part 3 of our meeting here. And this part of the meeting is exclusively for our master members. So thank you to those master members who are here with us, because now we are going to move into kind of this part of our program where we answer master questions who have come in already. And again, if you have questions of your own, now are the time to share, right? This meeting is for all of us, and we want to answer your questions as well. So we have some previously submitted